and I was trying to figure out who this person is. And you won't believe it.
Yeah, we've lost some talk.
Hi and welcome to Flossom Talk. I'm Tashti Flo, journalist, Hollywood truth teller, and your voice of reason in a town built on delusion. Okay, I've been scratching my head all morning trying to figure this out, and I think I did. This is so bananas, you guys. You won't believe what Blake Lively just filed. So she basically wants Justin Baldoni to give her tons of money because he filed a defamation suit against her after she had filed her original suit. And then she's trying to convince the judge why she should get this. And this is where it gets so messy. And she attached this exhibit to prove that someone on the set or someone in general felt really uncomfortable around Justin Baldoni. And it's all sealed out. And I was trying to figure out who this person is. And you won't believe it. Anyway, let's go through this first. What she's really asking for. Variety did this article that I started reading this morning saying that Blake Lively wants Justin Baldoni to pay millions for filing frivolous suit, a test in California Me Too law. Remember, she wanted the California Me Too law to be effective in New York, and that's why she wanted his lawsuit dismissed. That's not why the judge dismissed the lawsuit. That's been very clear because the judge wrote this really long explanation of why he dismissed Justin Baldoni's suit against Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times. And it had nothing to do with this new California law. It says in Variety that in a motion filed on Monday, Lively's attorneys argued that she should be awarded multiple millions of dollars to cover her attorney's fees and costs. She will also seek treble damages for her economic, emotional, and psychological harms, as well as punitive damages for abuse of the court system. Remember, she actually withdrew those emotional damages, and now she wants them anyway. Anyways, and it says here that Lively is relying on the Protecting Survivors from Weaponized Defamation Lawsuits Act, which Governor Gavin Newsom signed in 2023. In her motion, she states that the law ensures that individuals who experience SH or retaliation are able to share their experiences with courts, agencies, the press, and others without fear of being sued for doing so. So this is basically what Blake Lively is asking for. She's asking for attorney's fees to be covered. She's asking for treble damages, which means triple her attorney's fees, and punitive damages, which could also add a lot to this. So I tried to do an easy calculation here on how much approximately this case has cost both parties so far after 9 months. So together they have about 12 to 15 senior lawyers from very expensive law firms. Each of them has associates, paralegals, and support staff behind them who's also getting paid. So these partners at these seriously expensive law firms charges between $1,200 to $1,800 per hour. Senior associates charge around $700 to $1,000 per hour, and even juniors are paid about $300 to $500 per hour. So if you imagine all the motions, all the subpoenas, all the sanctions that they've filed, all the sealed exhibits back and forth, all the 30 depositions scheduled, hundreds of hours per month per firm is very realistic. So that means about 200 to 300 hours per month for these senior lawyers. That means that one of these big firms could easily bill between $500,000 to $1 million per month. And then you have 3 to 4 of these big firms on each side here. So then we're looking at between $3 to $5 million per month. So after 9 months, the lowest that they probably would have spent on this is $20 million. And the high end could be up to like $30 million. So if you're imagining that Blake Lively now is asking to get her legal fees covered and treble damages and punitive damages, if we're saying that Blake Lively spent $8 million so far on legal costs, which is on the lower end here, she would ask for those 8 million, and then she would ask to triple that, meaning that she'll ask for 24 millions. And on top of that, she would ask for punitive damages, which is basically extra punishment that she wants the judge to put on Baldoni and his team. That could end up being 10 to 15 million dollars. So what Blake is asking for here is about 30 to 40 million dollars. This is the amount that she finds fair to punish Baldoni and his team for suing her back. I've listened to some attorneys talking about this morning, and I think everyone agrees that this is ridiculous, and the judge is probably not going to rule on this anytime soon. They're asking for a hearing about it, and it's very, very unlikely that the judge will rule on this. Maybe he will after the lawsuit, but right now this seems very unlikely. Here is the very interesting part of this filing, though. As I said, there was an exhibit attached to it. In this exhibit, Blake Lively's team has blackened out most of the information to hide who this person really is. This is a declaration of someone who says that they were feeling uncomfortable or that they have negative interactions with Baldoni. And it doesn't say, as I said, who it is. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, who is this? Is this Isabella Ferrer? And then I was like, no, it can't be her. Who could it be? And then I started reading it. And it says here that this person had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including verbal abuse by Mr. Baldoni. And then something's black and it says Mr. Baldoni not to be permitted on set during the majority of the production as a result of those experiences. It continues to say, this person, I requested that he not be involved in marketing or public relations efforts. Who has the power to not permit Baldoni to be on the set and not make him a part of the marketing and PR? Who else than Blake Lively herself? No one on It Ends With Us had the power and authority to kick the director of the set of the movie or to remove him from the PR and marketing efforts. So this is filed so that people will get confused and think that there is another person here who has accused Baldoni of these things, while everything is pointing at Blake Lively herself. So they did this basically to try to fool everyone. And I've seen people are speculating who this person is. I think I'm like 99% sure that it's Blake Lively herself. And why would they retract all this information? She has already accused him of these things. So it wouldn't be a secret if it was her. And that's why they're doing it, to make people believe that there's more people. It's so shady. I don't think the judge is actually going to look at this letter. I mean, it doesn't say anything and it's so vague. Negative interaction with Mr. Baldoni and his associates. What negative interactions? They're not saying, they're not giving any examples, including verbal abuse. What verbal abuse? You have to be specific. They're just putting this out there. I'm so shocked by how they're trying to spin things all the time to make people believe that there's actually more victims here. And it's Blake Lively playing all the parts. Also, Blake Lively's team has filed for an extension from the judge because they need more time to get all this evidence that they're looking for. So I spoke about this sometime last week, I think, where Blake Lively's team is asking for these signal messages from Jed Wallace because they think that there's something in there when they're talking about this smear campaign. And Jed Wallace's team said, we used this option on Signal that activated this delete immediately thing that you can do on Signal. So your messages would just disappear as soon as someone's read them. And Signal is also an encrypted app, one of the safest apps out there if you want to have communication with someone without being afraid that anything's going to leak or whatever. They don't save your information on their server. It doesn't get saved anywhere. So it's going to be pretty impossible for Blake Lively's team to retrieve any of that information. So the way they want to retract or try to retract this information is to get forensics to keep the phones, physical phones, from these people, including Brian Friedman. They want to keep his phone for 12 to 24 hours to see what they can get out of it. And on Brian Friedman's phone, there's a lot of privileged information from other clients that he's representing as well. So, of course, he's not willing to do that. And the other parties involved here has said that they've been traveling a lot and they can't give up their phone for 12 to 24 hours. So this is the conversation here going back and forth. And the fact that they use the auto delete function on the app means that it's almost impossible to get any information from the phones themselves as well. But Blake Lively's team is just stalling this, trying to drag it out. And the reason why they're doing this is to make people believe that there's something in there that they're trying to hide. Even if they don't find anything, they're going to say that, hey, they didn't want to show us this. And why did they use auto delete if they didn't have anything to hide? So no matter what they find or don't find in this, they're definitely going to use this to their advantage, like they will with everything they can't find. Because if they can't find something, they're just saying that people are hiding something. I don't know how the jury is going to look at that. But anyways, we'll see what happens. They have until September 15, or that's what they're asking for now, to actually retrieve this information. So yeah, 6 more days. Anyways, there's also an article on Yahoo about Ryan Reynolds, and it says Blake Lively's lawsuit battle flipped a switch in Ryan Reynolds' source claims. So he is not himself anymore, according to this article. It says Ryan Reynolds is allegedly not the same person, as the high-profile actor has been carrying the weight of his wife, Blake Lively's lawsuit journey involving Justin Baldoni. And it says here that all the rumors that started swirling, that also included Ryan Reynolds, is one of the reasons why he's freaking out. And Rob Shooter, who I've referred to before, he has a blog and he has access to a lot of sources. He has a lot of inside information in Hollywood. And his source told him that Ryan Reynolds is angry. He's frustrated. The person continued, he's not the same Ryan. After that, another insider went further, saying that they claim that after the Baldoni and Lively lawsuit battle, something within the Hollywood star changed. The person said the lawsuit flipped a switch. Then their source continued to say that Reynolds has been furious at Baldoni, furious at the press, and probably at content creators and journalists like myself, I can imagine. And the person continued, and it's bleeding into everything he does. In the meantime, another insider went on to refer to an incident involving a child reporter, the one that happened in Toronto last week that I spoke about. The person expressed, that's not the Ryan people used to adore. The person then explained, he's carrying the weight of Blake's battle, and it shows. Meanwhile, another source, there's so many sources here, you guys, talked about how sharp edges have taken the place of Ryan Reynolds' easy humor behind the scenes. The person claimed he's more defensive, less approachable. The insider also added that the light within the actor has gone. Well, I think that Ryan Reynolds kind of had been the same person. We just didn't see it before. And I think we didn't realize that he was mean. We were just blinded by this kind of outgoing, funny guy that made really successful movies. I mean, I was fooled by it. I've met Ryan Reynolds many times. I've interviewed him. I really liked him. I thought he was a great guy, one of my favorite people to interview, because he was always so open, so nice, very polite in these interview situations with me. So I was like, wow, Ryan Reynolds is such a nice guy. And I was asking myself, how can he be married to someone like Blake Lively, who doesn't come across as a very nice or considerate person, if you ask me? She's probably nice to other people. I think some people choose who they want to be nice to. And if they see you as a person they don't need to be nice to, they won't. And I think both Blake and Ryan are those kind of people. Anyways, thank you, Alex, for sending me this article. So, OK actually did a story on how Eugene Levy was being mistreated by Ryan Reynolds on the red carpet at TIFF. And the fans are furious because they love Eugene Levy in Canada. And they think that Ryan Reynolds was being disrespectful to him. It says in this article that Ryan and Eugene Levy had a tense moment at the Toronto Film Festival. It says here that the Deadpool lead looked noticeable agitated while talking to Levy after posing for photos. Lip reader, they have a lip reader here. Her name is Nicola Hickling, and she says that Ryan Reynolds' jaw looked really tight. And he apparently said to Eugene, bullshit man, which Eugene said back to him, according to this lip reader, language, you don't need to speak so harsh. And apparently he looked confused. Then Ryan said, please don't ever tell me how I can talk to people. Levy looked uneasy as Reynolds said something to a woman nearby before telling Levy, I'm done here. We're done. Wow, if that's what happened, I understand that people are furious about this. I don't know if we can trust this lip reader 100%, but fans were already reacting to that clip when they saw it. And I also showed a clip yesterday where that people were reacting to also an interaction between Ryan and Eugene when Ryan was being very condescending towards Eugene. Anyways, the article continues to say that Ryan then touched Levy's arm, seeming to try and soften the moment. Then he moved on to a lady on the carpet, telling her with a smile, hi, nice to meet you. Social media users were taken back at the clip as one person commented on their interaction. Looks like he's being rude to Eugene Levy. Eugene equals class, Ryan equals a joke, another individual penned, while a third said, it sucks that I'm seeing this version of him. This 5-second clip makes me never want to watch another one of his movies. I guess the real Ryan Reynolds is standing up. OK Magazine did another story on Ryan Reynolds on how fans were commenting on his appearance, that they think that he's aged a lot. It says he's aged 25 years. Oh my God, a quarter of 100 years. He looks so tired. One person noted, and someone said he aged 10 years in 6 months. He looks rough, agreed another Instagram user. He ruined his entire career. Yeah, I can't imagine the toll this must take on Blake and Ryan being involved in this mess for so long. So I'm kind of impressed that they're actually showing up at things. And as I said yesterday, I don't think people want to be associated with Ryan Reynolds and the people that spend so much time making this movie. And now they know it's all about Ryan Reynolds and they know it's all about Blake Lively and her lawsuits. And the movie's not getting the attention that it deserves. And I don't think John Candy's family, for example, thinks this is great that Ryan Reynolds was even there to promote it. I don't think he should have showed up at all. Anyways, some people were commenting on that Instagram photo that Blake Lively published, that her figure looks very slim. I do agree. I was like, wow, she looks very skinny now. Maybe she lost a lot of weight, but then someone was pointing at her feet that they were very, very long and it looks like AI. I don't know if this is AI or not. I thought also that her body looked very slim and it doesn't look like a woman that had 4 children, but who knows how much effort is behind one of these photos. Regular people take a photo and they just put it on Instagram, maybe put a filter on it, whatever. But with celebrities, everything is just so curated. And especially now with Blake Lively, every single thing she does is really well thought through. Anyways, that's it from you guys. I really appreciate you watching and I really appreciate everyone who's been hyping my videos lately. It means a lot because it does help my videos a lot to grow and to get more audiences. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and check if you've been unsubscribed because that has happened to a lot of people. And also hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Yeah, we've lost some talk.